Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So with Daredevil Born Again kind of finishing up with its first season, and season 2 already renewed, already filming, I believe, I wanted to make sure that I focus on one of Marvel's best new series right now. It's actually a mini-series called Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. Now, the series is actually written by Charles Soule, who's the writer of the 2016 Daredevil run, and if you didn't know, that's the one where a lot of Daredevil Born Again is actually based off of, so actually pretty fitting, and I'm glad that his Daredevil work is getting so much recognition now, because when that run was actually going, a lot of people weren't totally on board with it, and I loved it. So not only is that material kind of getting love in the show, but we also got this now. We also got Steve McNiven on art. He is without a doubt one of the best artists that Marvel has ever seen, in my opinion. His style is so great, so refreshing, you know, in my opinion, so detailed and solid, but it's actually, he kind of switches it up with this series, and it's actually a little bit different, which I like too. So starting out at the beginning here, we actually see a much older Matt Murdock visiting somebody's grave and talking to their tombstone, and he kneels down and just starts saying, "Cold day out today. I bet it's colder down there though. I met with Jessica Jones today. Don't know how she looks nowadays, but the voice is the same. We caught up a little. I didn't ask her if she can still do the things that she used to. If the answer was yes, then I'd feel bad. If it was no, she'd feel bad. So generally I just tend not to ask these days. She said she would have come to see me sooner, but didn't realize that I survived the war." He then stops and covers his mouth. Anyway, and he gets up and turns to leave. What a beautiful life I have. Just beauty and joy as far as the eye can see. And he walks away without another word. And after he leaves, we see that this grave actually belongs to Wilson Fisk, and the tombstone reads, "Wilson Grant Fisk, husband, father, king." We then watch Matt as he walks through this dystopian version of New York, this military state where he's just surrounded by sickness and desperation, and we get an internal monologue from him. All part of God's plan. What a beautiful phrase. Kind of covers everything. Dark, light, don't get yourself too bothered. It's all part of God's plan. Nothing you could have done about it in any case. I understand the attraction. It's a nice bit of hand-waving, a catch-all that pushes aside the necessity for deeper examination of responsibility. Priests love it. They always tell it to members of the church whenever something terrible happens. It's a way of framing bad things in a good way. Priests have said it to me. I bet they're saying it a lot these days. He then boards a ferry to Manhattan and says, "I always hate this part. I like to keep my feet on solid ground, and it stinks in here. I don't have the smell like I used to, but still, there's too many people. Some of them are sick. It's not a long ride, but it's long enough." He then heads up some stairs to the top deck and says, "I can't breathe down here. The air is cold, like breathing in knives, but it's better." A man then joins him outside. Great minds think alike, huh? Sometimes you just need a little fresh air, and Matt doesn't respond. What? You're not gonna say anything? Come on, what's a little small talk nowadays? You got no opinion on the issues of the day? No thoughts on the weather? Matt still ignores him. Standing there in that fancy scarf. You too good to talk to me? Don't you see it? You look up there and you don't feel nothing? What kind of psychopath are you? And Matt holds out his cane. The man stops. "Oh, hey, sorry about that. I didn't realize you were blind. Didn't mean nothing by it." And Matt just gives him a forgiving look. "You want to know what I think?" he says. "It's all part of God's plan." And we see the absolute destruction of some of the old bridges and why they need to use the ferry to get to and from each island of New York. When Matt gets off the ferry, a man approaches him, a homeless person in a yellow hoodie. "Hey," he says, "you spare anything? Cold out here, and I'm hungry." And Matt takes some cash out of his coat. "Sure, friend. Let me see what I got. Take what you need, but leave me what you don't, okay? You're not the only hungry one." The homeless man then takes his cane and pushes him down the steps. Matt tries to use his old acrobatic abilities, tries to land properly, but he fails. Too old. Can't get enough turn on the flip. He falls straight onto his back and groans. "Why did you do that?" Matt asks. "Because I wanted to," the homeless man responds. "Leave me some money? Screw you, man. Screw you. You're really gonna say to me I'm not the only hungry one?" And another homeless man comes up behind Matt and grabs him by the neck. "I mean, he's right. I'm starving." The two men then close in around him, and Matt holds up his hands. "Just listen to me. There's no reason for anyone to get hurt here." "Shut up," the man in yellow says. "Give us everything you got, not just the small bills." And Matt holds up the cash again. "What I got is about 30 bucks, which will buy you guys some lunch, maybe. I won't hold it against you. It's tough out there. Or you can come to the soup kitchen that I run about 5 blocks north. We got hot meals on the regular, completely free of charge. No preaching. We even got a few beds, but they fill up fast. No strings attached." He then cocks his head. "Hey, I'm blind, fellas, and won't be able to tell you apart from any of the other regular folk that come in." We then jump ahead in time to see this soup kitchen called Battle in Jack's house. A woman named named Angie that works with Matt says, "Full house today, Mr. Murdoch." "I know," he says. "I can tell by how long I've been washing dishes back here. It's good. That's what we're here for." Then we can see all the men eating at the soup kitchen. And you notice that the two homeless men are actually there and took him up on the offer. Matt then heads outside to take out some trash and put it in the dumpster when he notices a bunch of people running out of the subway, screaming, frantic. Someone says something about a bomb, but they're cut off by a green explosion coming from underground. It sends Matt flying straight on his back again, knocking the glasses off his face. Matt is then surrounded by sensory overload, thinking to himself, "That smell, it's like battery acid and burning hair. No, that's not a scent. I'm hearing it." And he cries out in pain. And as the sounds of everything overwhelm him, he focuses in on one drop of blood, saying, "Choose one thing, just one thing." And his echolocation kicks in when the blood drop hits the ground, and he zeroes in on a young girl that's bleeding. He rises to his feet and says, "Find her." We then see that young girl crying out in pain, the gas burning her eyes, unable to open them. She holds out a hand, screaming, "Please, anyone!" And Matt grabs her hand, saying, "I'm here, I'll get you out." After saving her and getting her to safety, he follows the smoke from the explosion back to the source, underground. He leaps straight down into the hole, just like his younger self. "My radar's back," he says. "I can't see, but I can see." And he hops underground. A bunch of dead bodies, some buried under rubble, some with heads that have been stabbed through by rebar. Subway platform collapsed, he says. "It's unstable. I don't know how the roof is still holding. I need to get through here quick. Listen. No movement. They're all dead." But then suddenly he hears a voice. "That went like a charm, huh? Kaboom!" a man with a gold tooth says. And we get a better look at this guy, wearing a yellow hazmat suit with a bunch of other men, holding up Captain America's shield, saying, "And look what I got. I'm gonna take this back to the boss. I bet he'll love it." Matt then continues deeper into the hole, sifting through the rubble, and hears a heartbeat. "What is that?" he asks. "I've been hearing it since the start. I didn't realize till now. It's as steady as a bass drum. Wait a minute. I know that sound." And we see an old, disheveled, bleeding Captain America holding up a bunch of rubble, trying to save this girl that's unconscious beneath him, and Cap with his long white hair and a collection of loose bars sticking through his skin, stabbing him, says, "Murdoch, the hell are you doing down here? You're inactive. You're gonna die." "My powers are back, Cap," Matt responds. Something in the explosion triggered them. It was a dirty bomb. "Can you hold on?" "I'm not going anywhere," Cap says. "Take the girl. Get her out. She's important. She's the reason that this happened. She's what he wanted. I saw it. Go, Matt. Right now. But as you do, listen." And he keeps talking as Matt gets further away, knowing he'll hear it regardless. There was a shipment, military, moving chemicals from one base to another, part of some plan to get ahead, a new warrior project. You have no idea how deep this goes. And finally, Matt gets her out to the emergency teams and says, "Help her." And as they do, he zeroes in on Cap's heartbeat again and goes back for him. "He's still alive. I gotta get him." And he digs through the rubble again, saying, "I hear you. This is why. I'm supposed to save you." And the heartbeat gets quieter and quieter. "I'm the only one who can. He knew. That's why he set me in the path of the..." And he stops as he hears the heartbeat fade and cut out completely. Matt sits there right on top of the rubble, knowing that Captain America is dead. We then see this man with Captain America's shield again. "Look at this thing. This is the real deal. Hell, maybe I'll hold on to it. Probably worth a bundle." And Matt, just completely enraged, jumps out of the fog and says, "I see you, you murdering bastards." And he throws a rock directly at one of their heads, forcing a man to bleed from his skull. "Kill this guy," the man with Cap's shield says. And they start blasting before cramping into an ambulance and riding off. "Get going," one of them says. "There's something weird about this one. Did you guys see how he moved?" And the man that was hit by the rock looks out the mirror. "I'm seeing it right now. He's still coming." And we see Matt jumping across these rooftops in his old age, still chasing after him. "You're damn right I'm still coming," Matt yells out to him. "You can't hide. Not from me. I've got your scent." And the man that stole Cap's shield says, "This guy wants to play hero? Let's give him some people to save." And he starts running everyone over at the farmer's market. And Matt, still chasing him, says, "The screams. They just ran him over." And suddenly he feels a pain in his hip, and he realizes, "Oh god, you old fool." And he nearly slips off the side of the building before grabbing onto the ledge and saving himself, letting the ambulance get away. That was too close. It could have all ended right there, you idiot. These are not the old days. You can't just move around like that. Not anymore. But I've got your scent. And we see these guys go back to their warehouse, meeting with their boss, and the man unwraps the shield, showing it to him, saying, "I had a couple of surprise guests, boss. One of them was an old friend of yours, I think. I grabbed this off him before we bailed." And this grotesque, old, wrinkly, rotting man says, oh my. And immediately he takes the shield back to someone else and says, "Remember this? Of course you do. You worshipped the guy. He was everything you weren't and everything you aren't. I bet it burns you that I've got it. Here, you wanna hold it? You wanna hold it, Frank?" And we see this equally grotesque, wrinkly, rotting version of Frank Castle, the Punisher, with bullet holes riddled into him, his arms completely cut off, his legs also cut off, strapped up to a brick brick wall with white aging skin, green veins, with a bunch of chipped skin revealing the flesh below. Elsewhere, we see Matt take out his old costume in the Daredevil batons, suiting up once again in his old age. And at the end of the issue here, he leaps off of a building like his young self and says, whatever happens, whatever has happened, whatever will happen, it's all part of God's plan. And that is where it ends. So this is just the first issue out of 3, and I'm so obsessed with these stories. You know, I hate that everyone makes the comparison to Old Man Logan. Like, no dystopian stories are allowed to exist. Like, no other story like that existed before that one, because stories like these are awesome, and they show different types of horrific futures for these characters to live. And getting a book like this for a lot of different heroes, I mean, it's just refreshing to me. I don't know. Let me know how you feel down in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to continue this series. There's only 2 issues left, and I would love to continue covering it. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. That is the video. Thank you for watching.